All right, good morning. My name is Stephanie Holloway, and this is my wonderful PLC. This is Miss Denise Little. She's in charge of 5th grade ELA. Miss Lakia Carter, she's in charge of 4th grade ELA, and Miss Terry Musselwhite's in charge of 6th grade ELA. So we're going to get started with our PLC committee meeting. First, do you have anything that you'd like to share or get off your chest about biometric screenings? Or we all recently gone through Gillingham training or anything like that?
As far as what they need to know before they get to 6th grade. So it's good to know that, and it's also good to know that they don't have what they, what they're lacking. So that was good for me.
Right after, coming back from the training, I tried to implement a little bit of it. It wasn't to fidelity, but using some vocabulary words with our Smart Club students and tried to get them to pronounce, sound out words. And it seemed to have helped because we started out with some words that they could not enunciate, and it helped them. I said, well, we got to figure out a way to use it, maybe in Smart Club.
All right, so just to review our norms, we talked about Mr. North's norms of being respectful and being engaged. And then at our last meeting, we talked about how at the class that I went to, the team that I was working with suggested that we add a measurable component to our SMART goal. And so I pulled the SMART goal from our school improvement literacy plan. And if you look at your agenda, sorry, I didn't pass those out well. If you look at your agenda, I pulled the numbers from the data from last year for the number of students that were scoring at a specific Lexile or higher by grade level. And this is what was on our system improvement plan, and this is what is on our school improvement plan for literacy. And the goal for the school was to improve by 10% of students achieving that Lexile or higher on the milestone. Do you think that's a reasonable goal to set for our Smart Club goal, or what are your thoughts?
I feel like if we're going to use the milestone or if we're going to use the star, and then maybe the milestone the star could be maybe our progress monitoring part.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the milestones kind of give us
the final.
Because we have access to all of their milestone Lexiles from last year, and I think Smart Club students, a lot of them are academically struggling anyway, so they may not be anywhere close to the 740.
Right.
So should we look at a group of kids, or are we going to look at all of Smart Club?
I think what we should do is pull our regular Smart Club attendees, because those are the ones that I think we are going to be able to have the most impact on.
Okay.
Because there are some kids that are on the Smart Club roster that are at the alternative school and haven't been here since the beginning of the year. So maybe we could pull our regular attendees' Lexile scores from last year and kind of see where they fall.
Where they are.
And then maybe instead of using these numbers, have that number increase by 10%.
Whatever
That number,
whatever
right.
the average, or
Right. Well, like see where they, like what is in the middle.
okay.
What do you think?
Or individual, if you're just looking at individual growth, start with where they are and then see if they make a 10%.
I think that would be even more realistic.
It's going to be a lot of data searching though.
Well, what I can do is I can put those numbers in a spreadsheet.
You got it.
And then I can base it on 10% growth.
Yeah, based off of just where they
are individually.
That would be
And then if you talk, and we put in the conference thing that we've been working with our kids on already, and you said, look, this is where you were at. This is what we're shooting for. And then maybe talk to them, because they'll be here during the summer too, so they'll know what their Lexile level is. And maybe meet with them again then.
And next year wise, we're getting 3rd graders in the summer, so we're getting the new 4th graders, 6th grades moving on, so we'll have really uprising 4th graders, uprising 5th graders, uprising 6th graders. Could we test them in the summer to kind of get
we'll have their milestone score.
That's
right. Just
and then when we first meet with them, the very first day during the summer, we can talk to them and say, look, this is what this means, and this is where you are, and this is where we want to take you.
Yeah.
This is what grade level this is what you should be on according to your grade level, and talk to them about it.
So summer schools, sixth grade will move over to the junior high school, so they'll be gone for summer school.
Oh, so you'll get to meet your
My new
Mhm. I think that'd be good though. And I think if we can pull some of those Orton Gillingham strategies in, even I know what I've seen a lot of when I look at their writing, a lot of them put the wrong vowel in, and so if you could just do that vowel intensive training, so they really really know those vowel sounds, I think that will help just with their spelling. And all right, so that's where we'll go. What I'll do is I will pull their scores, and I will we won't have them till the summer, but that first week of summer when we start working with the scores and try to place our kids for Smart Club.
There's an assessment component to that, so you'll know what they know. Do you
Oh
remember
yeah,
that?
the Orton Gillingham assessment. And Mr. North is going to buy the online stuff for us to have.
Cool.
So we can pull that.
assess them
Mhm.
right away.
And we can put it all on the computer and monitor it. And then make maybe small groups during the summer of where their deficiencies are at.
And then they can just continue that on through the year as well.
I think it's a good idea. Will they work with the same teacher they have during the summer through the school year?
Not necessarily. We
Yeah,
work with
right.
the ones that we teach.
Oh, okay. Probably would make the most impact because you see them all day and then.
But you gotta understand too, like some of the Smart Club teachers aren't reading teachers.
Right.
During the year.
Right.
So.
Which some of our
But
kids
we
really struggle with
might.
math too.
But you know what we could, it's a thought, have like some, like us that are trained in the school year, instead of having a class, pull those kids out have a class, have small groups, but have them
Maybe rotate as one of the connections.
like I have a group, and then just to keep them going on that. So that's a thought. And that way, you're not worried about the science teacher not teaching them. You've got you rotate them around.
Like as one of the connections.
Or just within the.
There was one year where we had a math teacher and a reading teacher, and they were paired up. We did that one summer. And the kids would have reading one day, and then they'd have math another day. So it was kind of like.
It's like every other day kind of. That's smart.
Well, we have
smart. Did it work well? Did you?
I feel like it did. It worked well.
But it's almost like you would just need, I know that some classes are larger than others, but if you had your certain, these 5 kids are coming today, these 5 kids are coming tomorrow, even if you're pulling.
Work on a spreadsheet so that we can use this and we can have it accessible and easy to use. So that if I gave you your students, a list of them, and what their score was with the 10% increase, you would be able to speak to that to the kids when they come in the summer. So I like the PLC process. Do you think that this might be something we could infuse within our grade level departments to further dig into the data and where the deficiencies are at and how to bring that out? What are your thoughts? I know that's a lot to throw at you all at the same time.
I like what we are doing with Smart Club because it's small enough to handle and kind of get your feet wet with the number of kids that we have. I would like to see us do something school-wide, but I'd like for us to go through the whole plan, implement it in Smart Club to kind of see what works and what doesn't, and not necessarily be building an airplane as we're flying it when we bring it back to our grade level or to our
That's a
department.
really good idea. So you would like to continue meeting just the 4 of us, and then roll it out in Smart Club maybe next year, and keep working through this process, and then maybe decide how we can do it at a grade level.
Yeah.
At the high school, they had they call them study groups, but it's basically a PLC group that they got together during their planning period. They had common planning with their departments. So like all the English teachers for a grade level had common planning. All the English teachers for the whole school had common planning. I don't know if that's a possibility with our schedule. I don't think it is the way things are working right now, because y'all have common planning in your teams, which I think is also beneficial and needed. I don't know how you would implement that during the school day to have, I don't know, maybe one day meet with your team, maybe one day meet with your department during planning. I don't know if that would be a scheduling nightmare.
One thing that I thought about incentivizing school-wide that we could start would be, I can't remember what my little title was, but it had to do with STAR and using the STAR testing. So like shining like a star or starring, that's what it was. So starring in 4th grade. And then students may set goals for AR, accelerated reader, accelerated math. It may be a STAR reading goal. And then somewhere on our hall, we'll have a starring wall where kids can put their star up if they met that goal and their star up if they met whatever goal it is. It would be a lot of goal setting and, being involved, but it would make us look at our data, and then the students would have to look at it and, kind of
Take
take some ownership of what they're doing.
And they would want their star up.
And then I feel like if we had starring, like, academic award, like how we do PBIS, but we would have, I don't know, like a premiere, since it's kind of like movie.
Yeah, I like
thing.
that idea.
They would have a build-up, or if you had 4 stars, then you get to go to this event. If you have 2 stars, then you get to do this event, So
Have like little Oscars for the top people. Just think about those little bitty statues, some red carpet rolled out. Mr. North would be all into
And
that.
it could be something as simple as even like them watching a movie. If you have your first star, like just things like that, so that we can hold them accountable for their academic goals.
And then that shines a light on the ones that are always doing good academically, and they never get recognized, or they, not they.
Do y'all have an honor
what I'm saying?
ceremony, like an
We
awards
used
night
to.
kind of?
We used to dress up, and we used to have it in the auditorium, and
Like at night?
at night, all the parents came. I hated it,
Yeah, it was like one night that you could never get back that time, but at the high school we were required to go every year. But it was also a night that, it's the night that they gave out all the scholarships and all those. I mean, it started out, when I first started teaching, it was a 4-hour event.
but yes.
And
They
then,
had it for elementary too?
We had it for 5th grade.
Oh, for 5th grade?
Many years. For many years we did. And then we started doing it in the classroom.
Right, that's, it's
No, wait, I take it back. We started doing it in the cafeteria, and then we moved to a
to
classroom.
classroom.
So it just
so it just got smaller and smaller.
It
It's
might
so
be
busy,
that we need to, like you say, do these awards for academics as well as behavior, shine a light on those things, and then we might start to really see the changes that we want to see actually, just throughout, just from top to bottom.
Because kids are competitive, even the kids that I found with accelerated reader, the ones that don't like to read, when I put their points up and I'm like, oh, so-and-so's the richest person in class, and they're like, oh no, and so they have these little competition, and I hear kids saying, we're reading 3 books today, finish your breakfast, and we're going to start, And it's kids that I wouldn't even think, like to read really, but they've been really doing their thing. So.
It's amazing what they get motivated
Right,
over.
right.
Well, I started calling mine star students.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just if they were doing something good. Like, oh, you're my star student today. Oh, and I started kidding around with it. But they'd come in, am I going to be your star student today? I don't know. Let's see what you're going to do today. You might.
It's like a 6th grade award ceremony.
Yeah. That's what
But somehow work those students in that are making tremendous gains too, so they don't
So
feel
the
like
4th graders
that
would have something to work for.
So meet their
Right.
goals. So set their goal and then meet their goal. Not just. It may not be on grade level.
Just find different categories to place them in, and that most improved, or you have, like you say, you started here and then you've moved up, and kudos for that.
Because it's
man,
time.
I'm so
It's
excited.
time. We've got great ideas though, so I'm going to bring these to you. Thank you, ladies, for helping me this semester with this. We're going to keep this going. I'm glad that y'all want to.
I was looking for her because you were looking for me.